Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome to Redout 2. Now, if you aren't aware, I am a huge fan of the original Redout and I like games that are very fast. That's one of the main reasons why I like Asphalt 9 is because compared to some other modern racing games, it feels a lot faster. So when I heard there was a sequel to Redout, which I've been playing for many years, I was extremely excited. So as soon as it launched, I bought the Ultimate Edition, which includes some DLC and the soundtrack, and I jumped right into it, and I have to say, so far I am having a blast. But just to get you up to speed if you're unfamiliar with Redout, it's basically a spiritual successor to all of the old school anti-gravity racers like F-Zero, Wipeout, and many more. So this game does not focus on realism whatsoever, and I really enjoy that. It lets the developers do basically whatever they want with the gameplay, the mechanics, and just the way the game works. And in Redout 2, they take that speed up to 11, and it is really amazing to witness. So this is really just a first impressions and sort of showcase video. Hopefully I'll do more videos on Redout 2 in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see those in the comments, and if you'd like to see my review of the original Redout game, you can find that in the description as well. I highly recommend it. It was on sale for a long time, and I believe last week or so it was free on the Epic Game Store, but you can probably find it for very cheap on many different game stores, just if you want to get a little taste of what Redout is about. But it is very different from the newer Redout 2, and that is because in Redout 2, there is a lot of accessibility options, which is great to see because a lot of people complain, or not complain, but they point out that anti-gravity racers are very hard to learn, and I understand that it's a very difficult and very different type of game compared to normal racing games, and especially in Redout, getting used to the controls and the mechanics is very difficult to do. So I'm very glad to see that the developers have put in some assist features, kind of like what you'd see in sim games where you can have like different braking and steering assistance, and so having this in Redout 2 is hopefully going to make the game a lot more accessible and hopefully very popular as well. Now, of course, as soon as I saw those assists, I turned them off, and frankly that made me feel a lot better about the game. I feel like I have more control over the vehicle, and I do have a lot of experience, like I said, with the original Redout game, so I'm comfortable doing this. But if you are just getting into Redout 2, I do suggest using the assists just for a little while to get used to the controls and whatnot. But yeah, if you are a veteran, turn them off, go ahead and have some fun like I did. But again, it is nice to see that they are putting some attention to detail at getting new players into this type of game as well. But yeah, my initial impressions are that this game is extremely fun. There are some sort of disappointing things. I think the performance is one of them. Now, I by no means have a very powerful computer, but at the same time, I would consider it relatively competent in terms of gaming, and it is kind of laggy on low settings at 1080p. So I'm hoping that there will be some updates in the future to make it run better, because the original Redout game looked really good for how well it did in terms of performance, and so I'm hoping over time the developers can improve the performance of this game, but it's really not that bad considering there have been other games that have launched in much worse states. Cough Battlefield 2042, cough. But yeah, performance aside, the gameplay is extremely fun. You'll notice in this game you can go extremely fast, and I love the sense of speed that this game gives you. And really, that's the main reason why I played, is no other game gives me as fast of a sense of speed as Redout 2 does. Combining the hyper boost with the normal boost, as well as the launch pads in the track, are just giving you an amazing experience and feeling that is really hard to describe over video. And actually playing the game and experiencing that speed makes it feel a lot faster, because when I was watching gameplay videos of it, I was like, okay, you know, this feels pretty fast, but then when I played it, it feels a lot more faster. But in terms of the track design, I'm overall pretty pleased. There's a great balance between straightaways and curves, and what's really nice is because of those assist features, but also the improvements to handling, it actually feels like I have a lot more control over my vehicle compared to the first Redout game. In the first Redout game, it felt like my car, or at least the vehicle, was on skids and it was like on an ice rink, I guess you could say, whereas in this game, it really feels more like a magnetic track, and I have a lot more responsiveness compared to the original game. Now, the only one part that I'm not so sure is an improvement on is the soundtrack. Now, the first Redout game had an incredible soundtrack, and I love to use it in videos because it serves as great gameplay music for racing games, and each track was specifically made for the, well, track that it was based off of. So a jungle track would have those different types of musical elements. The desert track felt like you were in a desert, and while some of that does return for Redout 2, there is some licensed music as well, but overall it's definitely more focused on a consistent beat, which is good. I mean, it's definitely a improvement over other racing games that are out there right now, but I haven't listened to everything yet, and so I'm not sure if it quite matches the fidelity and I guess connectivity to the game that the first soundtrack did in the first game, but it is not bad by any means, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about the soundtrack. But yeah, overall my first impressions are that this game is a load of fun. I'm having a blast exploring the tracks and going as fast as ever, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on Redout 2 in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys later.